Hello, and this is Big FANBOY. Now, in case you don't know, I recently came back from a place known as France, and I wanted to review something special since I've been to France. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Well, unless you read the title, which is probably like 99.99% of you. Are you going to review a French game, Big FANBOY? Or maybe not 99.99% because some people might have no idea where this game comes from if they're stupid. Well, the answer is no! Now, while I was at France, there was a Nintendo 64, and there were two games that were at the French place. Now, the first game that was there was Pokemon Stadium, but that game was pretty boring, so next! The game I'll actually be talking about will be Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64, even though you already all knew that. Anyway, this game has quite a long history. Basically, while making Star Fox, Shigeru Miyamoto, you know, the guy who made Mario, had an idea for a 3D Mario game. People thought that there was going to be a 3D Mario game on the Super Nintendo known as Super Mario FX, but that was false. That was just the code name for the Super FX chip, or just the secret name, whatever. But the truth was that Nintendo was making a new 3D Mario game for the Nintendo 64. Now, a lot of stuff happened in between when the N64 was first announced and when it was released, but I'm not going to go into that stuff because I'm not a beta person. Anyway, the game was released as a launch title for the N64 in all regions, and that was in 1996 in Japan and America and 1997 in Europe. There was also a version released for the IQ player in November 21st, 2003 in China, and then there was a Virtual Console release, which was a launch title, or launch Virtual Console download, for the Wii! Now, that is the rest. The game came out, received critical acclaim, and it's still loved by many today. But what do I think of it? Well, I beat the game 100% in France twice, so after doing that, I knew that I just had to review this game. So, you know what? I'm gonna review this game, and you're not stopping me. So, anyway, I'm gonna play the game! No, I forgot. I'm gonna play the game! Also, the game was remade for the Nintendo DS, which was also a launch title. Seriously, Super Mario 64 is launch title business, guys. Launch title business. Don't even think about playing this on the Virtual Console, because if you do, then you can go live with that evil piano in this game for all I care. Also, this game sold 11 million copies worldwide, and the Virtual Console version is like the second most popular Virtual Console game ever, right behind Super Mario Bros. So yeah. The story of the game is that Princess Peach invites Mario to her castle. This isn't like Paper Mario or New Super Mario Bros. U, where Bowser flat out steals the castle. Oh no! Princess Peach just simply asks Mario to come to the castle, and she bribes him with cake. I couldn't make this beep up myself even if I tried. And then after Lakitu with a camera decides to be proud, Mario actually arrives. Whoopie-doo, I was never expecting that. Anyway, once Mario gets to the castle, he just travels to the castle first. But once he gets into the castle, he finds out something terrible. Surprise, surprise! Bowser kidnapped the princess. What else would he have done? Play golf with Yoshi? Nah, that would have never happened. Of course, Bowser had to interrupt everything and steal Princess Peach. The story is simple, and I have nothing else to say. to say about it. It's just simple, it's Mario, the end. At the end of the game, Mario collects a star, which was inside Bowser, and then that star turns out to be Princess Peach! That equals that? What? Anyway, on to the gameplay. This game is not like your old Super Mario Brothers games. Oh no, it's not just a simple point A to B game anymore. Oh no. Instead, you have something which is called freedom. Yes! I can go wherever I want! I can jump however I want! I can kill Goombas by either jumping on them or sliding into them. I can grab bob-bombs and make them explode. I can collect poor coins in 3 colours. Yellow, red, and blue. And most important, I can do whatever people I want in this huge world. Libra soy, Libra soy. I can go wherever the beep I want. Libra soy, Libra soy. Mario is in 3D. I do care that I can't speak in Spanish. Let Mario run around. This game is the best thing that ever came out. Oh, and Luigi's not in the game due to technical limitations at the time. How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. Life goes on. Basically, Super Mario 64 works like this. There's one hub world, which is Peach's castle, because, you know, Peach bribed Mario into coming here. And anyway, in the castle, you could just, you know, explore it. And there are a total of 15 levels inside this castle. Now, quite a few levels can just simply be found by walking into a door and finding its painting, but other levels are hidden a bit more secretly. For the 10th level in the game, you have this room with mirrors, and oh my god, this must be one of, if not the first game which had mirrors that you can actually walk into and see yourself in really close. I'm not saying it's the first game with mirrors, it's just the first game where you can actually see yourself fully in a mirror, as in you looking into the mirror in the game. That's cool. But anyway, there are a bunch of paintings in this place, which can be reflected in the mirror. But there's one painting that was reflected in the mirror, but it's not reflected in the normal place, or whatever. That was weird. Anyway, all of these paintings are just paintings for other levels in the game, and you can't go through them. However, that painting that's missing, which is the 10th level, you can go inside. Now, you may find me a bit silly for saying this, but my 9-year-old self, maybe, could not find this level for the life of me. Yeah, it's technically me, but I don't care. I mean, surely you guys may call me a stupid kid who couldn't find this level because you guys found the level when you were kids, but you're right. My 9-year-old self was stupid, so you're smart. Now, once you find these paintings, or paintings disguised as walls, or a clock, or just a place where you can fall down, you basically have to get in them, and once you get into that area, the game will give you 6 missions, and what you've got to do is you've got to pick that mission, and then once you get to that mission's end by killing a boss, breaking a box, finding out in the open, or doing a certain task, you can collect that star, and there are a total of 120 in the game. All you gotta remember is to catch them all. Oh wait, that's Pokemon! Also, once you collect all 120 stars, the cannon will open so you can get to the top of the castle. Or you could do that before, but Yoshi will be here when you get to the top. But only with 120. If you cheat, then Yoshi won't be there. And Yoshi will give you 100 extra lives, so that's just one thing I wanted to point out. I'd also like to mention that once you collect 100 coins, a star will appear above the coin that you've just collected, and then once you collect that star, you won't teleport back to the castle like you should know. It will just tell you to collect 100 coins, it'll give you the star, then it'll ask you to save. It's different from all the others because of that, but that's kind of obvious, and it's in every main level in the game, so yeah. And just watch Mario teleport back to the castle when he collects a normal star. Yeah. All I can say is, you better hope that you don't get it in either a place where it's impossible to backtrack to, or in a place where it is extremely hard to get, or somewhere where it's inside a wall, because if you do, you will not be able to get it, and if you die, you have to collect every coin all over again, which is really annoying. But I usually got these coin challenges down, but they can still be annoying sometimes, especially when you nearly have 100 and then you die. Every level also has 8 red coins. Even most of the secret stars contain you collecting red coins. And there are 8 of them in each level / secret area, and once you collect all of them, surprise, surprise, you get a star. And that is literally the easiest red coin challenge in the whole game. I would also like to mention that you can talk to some toads, and there's practically no point in talking to them, with the exception of 3-star toads, which give you a star each, but you won't know which toads they are. But spoiler alert, that toad gives you a star, so keep that in mind if you want to beat this game 100%. Now, just to let you know, there are 3 different types of coins in the game, and that little Crash Bandicoot memory thing, or throwback, told you which ones there are, but basically, yellow coins give you 1, red coins give you 2, and blue coins, which aren't just in the open, they hide in either enemies or giant switches, which give you 5. So, yeah. And this game also has green mushrooms, and anyone who's played Mario should hopefully know what they do. They do the exact same thing as they do in the old games, so there's no surprises here. Yellow coins, as well as being out in the open, hide in many things, such as enemies, these bouncy boxes which bounce 3 times, and then they give you their coins, and there are a whole lot of other methods, which I'm not going to tell you what they are, so you gotta work them out for yourselves. Another thing this game has are exclamation mark boxes. Nope, they're no longer question mark boxes. This game is too cool for them. They are now exclamation mark boxes. Just look at that exclamation mark. Genius. Anyway, there are 4 different colours of them. The yellow exclamation marks either give you coins, 1-ups, or a star. And by the way, they're usually gold or yellow, whatever you want to say, but when you've already collected them, they're blue. So that's just something I have to mention in case you're wondering why all the stars are blue! And then there's the red exclamation mark box, which gives you the wing cap, and this song, which I used in my last review, will perfectly explain what it does. Here we go! Oh, beep. I'd like to mention that all 3 of these caps have their own song attached to them, and they're all pretty good. And that's what I have to say. Yeah, but this song still isn't as good and as fitting as I Believe I Can Fly. Here we go! Oh, beep. Then there's the blue exclamation mark box, which gives you the invisible cap, and if you can't work out what that does, then you are kinda beeping stupid. But what it does let you do is that it lets you go through certain walls. Here's solid proof that it does this. You see that? I just went through the wall. I can't usually go through it. Nope, not at all. And it also lets you go through metal bars, which is interesting. And last but not least is the green metal can. By the way, this game has signs, kind of like the Japanese version of Spyro, but there's no point in reading them, because all they do is give you advice. And what Metal Mario does is that he makes you invincible, and basically he lets you walk underwater. That's cool, I guess. And yes, Mario can swim, but there is a downside to swimming in this game. Unlike the Mario games before this, Mario can beeping drown! Mario can drown? He can beeping drown in this game? Oh my god, could you imagine what it'd be like if Mario could take falling down himself? That would be the stupidest thing ever. First the poison mushroom in the lost levels, and now this. Dear Nintendo, how dare you make Mario die from falling damage? Beep you from Hula Beep Cares. Wow, this guy's grammar is awful, and I never knew there was a person called Hula Beep Cares. You mean we never knew? Oh yeah, his parents must be seriously messed up, and so would he. And if he's not, then we'd be surprised. And so, Who the Beep Cares, and no, we could not find an image of him even though you saw him like a minute ago, decided that he hated Nintendo forever, just because of those stupid things. He burnt all of his Nintendo stuff, and he killed anyone who liked Nintendo, and he even tried to burn Nintendo down in 1997, but luckily he failed, and now he's dead forever. And we're all very thankful for it, because he hated Nintendo just because of two stupid things in Mario 64. Or is he dead? The game also has green Koopa Troopa shells. And by the way, Koopa Troopas are very rare in this game. And you can even find these Koopa shells in an exclamation mark box or on a Koopa Troopa. And they basically make you invincible almost. They make you go faster, and no, I will not use a Sonic the Hedgehog joke. And yeah, the only thing that sucks about them is that if you hit a wall, they're gone. They also let you scale up mountains, so that's cool, I guess. I'd also like to mention that you can find them in clams underwater, and they speed up your swimming, so that's something. And they sometimes disappear if you go on land or out of the water, which does kind of suck. The controls in the game work like this. Now, I'll be telling you the classic controller controls, but they're not too much different on an N64 controller, and I know that from experience. Anyway, you move around with the left analog stick, or the analog stick if you're playing on an N64. You jump with the A button, and Mario has more jumps in this game. Nope. Yeah, that's right. He no longer has one simple jump. He has many jumps, such as the single jump, which is a regular jump, and if you press the jump button at the right time, you land, he does a double jump, and then if you do it again, he'll do a triple jump. And he also has a side flip, which you do by running and turning around and quickly pressing the jump button, which doesn't always work, but it's still there. You can backflip by holding the crouch button, which is L, or ZR, and then you can jump by pressing X. You can crawl by using the analog stick while holding it, and Mario can even do a long jump with it. If he runs, then if you press the crouch button, then if you jump, he does a long jump. And trust me, these long jumps are useful, as well as the triple jumps and the side flips. Those are the most useful jumps in the game. And Mario can also punch things with the B button. If he's running, he'll dive if you press the B button. And if you you can grab things with B, which is more useful than punching things, but that only happens with certain objects. And you move around the camera by using the right analog stick or C. The controls in this game really do work well. I mean, jumping works fine a lot of the time, and diving works, and everything works, and the camera works, even if it is annoying, but I'll get into that later. And the controls just work really well, and Mario can also wall jump in this game by hitting a wall and then pressing the jump button, but they only work when they feel like it. I mean, seriously. Whenever you want to wall jump, Mario won't do it sometimes, and that is super, and I mean super annoying. But other than that, the controls practically work just fine, and they definitely get the job done for one of, if not the first 3D platform. Graphically, the game looks pretty nice for an N64 launch title. Now, this is the Virtual Console version, which has a higher resolution, and it's being played on a Wii U, so that highs the resolution even more. But the game still does look very nice for an N64 game made in 1996. And by the way, I have played the game on an N64, so I know what it looks like on an actual console on a CRT TV. There's a lot of colour, the textures are quite detailed, it's clean, and overall it's pretty cute. And I'm gonna admit this right now. This is probably the most Japanese looking Mario game that's in the main series. Now that's definitely not a bad thing, after all I am kind of a sucker for Japan. It's just something I noticed. The character models look quite cute. I mean, that's just something. The character models look cute. It's not like the other games where they look fully polished. I mean, they are polished in this game for an early N64 game. They just look cute. It's not like the other games where they look like character models that you'd expect to see in a game. They look cute. And this is probably the most obviously Japanese-made Mario game in the main series. Now, surely there may be other, more obscure Mario games that are a little more Japanese. Maybe even the RPGs might be like that. But it's just something I noticed. It's just cute. I mean, the game just looks cute, and that's pretty interesting. The music in this game is also very good. Now, I could definitely say that quite a few levels do share the same songs. The soundtrack is still very good. All of the songs fit for their areas, and the music can range from calm and peaceful, such as Peach's Castle, which I actually listened to at eating time quite a bit while I was in France. Some themes are upbeat and catchy, such as the super secret slide theme, which is actually used multiple times in the game. And this is one of the only super secret challenges where you don't need to collect a ton of red coins. And even the star has a catchy jingle to it. And there are even some epic themes, like in Bowser's levels, and there are 3 of them in the whole game, and they all share the same song, and Bowser's practically the same in all 3 worlds, just that he has slightly different things in each boss battle, but he's basically the same boss in each world. And these places are red coins, so yeah. I did pretty well considering that the camera was stuck. And I'm not even going to mention the epicness of the final Bowser theme yet. The sound effects are all completely new in this game, and they sound pretty good, and the voice acting mostly contains Mario yelling every time he jumps. Now personally, I don't find it annoying, but I know for a fact that some people will find his yelling annoying, because he just never shuts up. Mario! Wake up! Anyway, in this game, you can climb up poles, and you can also slide down them, kinda like a fireman, and I'm not going to use any jokes for a song for that thing, so I apologise. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'd like to mention that you find all of the coloured caps, or the special caps, which is the exclamation mark boxes with colours in these bonus areas, which have red coins, which are extremely common in this game, in fact a bit too common. And then once you get to the end, you see a giant switch, you hit that switch, and then like in Super Mario World, it will activate them all over the land. So yeah, that's simple. Mario's health is represented by these pie pieces, and there's a total of 8 of them, and if you lose all of them, guess what, you die. The end. But you can restore your health by collecting coins, so make sure you do that if you don't want to die. This game does have its flaws, even though it's considered one of the best games of all time, and one of the greatest Mario games, and stuff like that. Now, my main problem with the game is this beeping camera. Oh my god, the camera. It can be so annoying sometimes. Surely people called it revolutionary at the time, because you can fully control it, and that's something that you couldn't do in like Crash Bandicoot. But despite that, revolution doesn't always mean it's good. I mean, the camera gets stuck a lot, it gets in some weird angles sometimes, and it can just be so annoying. I mean, there are times when you want to move the camera, but the game won't let you, and it's just annoying when you want to move the camera, yet the game won't let you. It's just so annoying. That and wall jumps don't always work, which does suck. I mean, it's kind of like a 1 frame thing, and it's always annoying. I don't know if it is 1 frame, but it's certainly not a lot. Mario definitely doesn't slide down these walls like he does in later games. It's just annoying when you hit a wall and you don't wall jump. It's just, it's annoying. Wall kicks will work my beat. The next thing is more of a missed opportunity, but there are no levels where you have to combine the powers of all 3 caps and do some really tricky platforming sections, taking advantage of all 3 of the caps. Now surely there are 2 levels of both the metal cap and the invisibility cap, but you only need the invisibility cap in both of those levels. That and the game doesn't really tell you exactly what to do. There are some missions which are quite cryptic. For example, in the level Wobb's Fortress, there is a mission called Blast Away the Wall. But you'll be wondering to yourself, what wall is it talking about? What wall will I need to destroy? I don't know anything. It's not like there's a huge dent in it like there is in Zelda games. Well, it turns out that there are these two walls. And basically, you can break them. That's right, these are the breakable walls, but only one of them has a star inside, and that is the star in this one. And how would anyone know this back in the day unless they read like a strategy guide? And unlike Crash 2, I was too lazy to, research if the game actually did have a strategy guide, but who cares? And this next thing isn't that bad. In fact, it's actually pretty entertaining, but the game is pretty glitchy. And I can see that some people may not like the game's glitchiness, but it does make speedruns way more interesting. Just look up the 100% towards this speedrun. That is literally like the weirdest speedrun ever, and that's why it's so cool. But other than the camera, there aren't really that many more bad things, and the other bad things are more minor. Everything else about the game is pretty good. The graphics are cute and good for the time. The music is great. The game controls well. And surely the camera is a huge pain which moves when you don't want it to move, and it gets stuck a lot and stuff like that. I mean, seriously, the camera is called revolutionary, and that's some people's excuse for not criticizing the camera. I mean, that's like if a 1-year-old deactivated the power in your house. Surely you'd be impressed that it managed to do it somehow, but you wouldn't be impressed that it actually happened. But the camera is only really the most annoying thing in the game, and everything else isn't that annoying. Surely the game would be a bit cryptic, but the game isn't that hard, and you do lose all your lives when you load up a save file, and that is pretty annoying. But getting a game over isn't that easy in this game, so don't worry too much. And once you master the controls, this game can get so much more fun. And sometimes I do accidentally slam my butt on the ground rather than do a long jump, but that's more my own fault. But I've just talked a lot about this very glitchy and fun game. Do you want me to say anything else? Another thing I like about the levels is how creative some of them are. For example, in TikTok Clock, the level moves around, but if you enter it when the big hand is on the 12, nothing moves, and that's pretty cool. And that's only the icing on the cake on how interesting some of these level ideas are. And one other really annoying issue is that you can't bring up the pause menu unless you stand completely still, which is extremely stupid. And it was kind of fixed in later games, but they still restricted you with the pause menu and leaving the levels. The bosses in this game are kind of like in Crash 1 and 2. They're memorable, but they're not necessarily challenging. But the final fight with Bowser is just epic. Bowser may look a bit weird in this game, but hey, it's the first 3D Mario game, so you shouldn't complain too much. And while it's almost exactly like the other two Bowser fights, and it can sometimes be annoying grabbing his tail, and the swinging is quite annoying. I imagine that it's worse in Mario Party in those mini games where you've got to wiggle the analog stick a lot. And the music! Man, that music is epic! And it's just so satisfying killing this Bowser. It's just so satisfying. And one thing that sucks about the whole game is that if you die, you go back to the beginning and you lose everything. absolutely everything. There are only a few checkpoints in the game, and that includes the Bowser fights and 2 of the secret areas in 2 of the levels. Well, I won't call them secret, but they are different parts of the level, so hey, whatever. And I can't even tell you how annoying it is when you have nearly or have collected 100 coins, and then you die, and then you have to, and then you didn't collect the star, and you have to do it all over again. That is actually quite annoying. But that's practically what I have to say about the game right now. Overall, Super Mario 64, considering that it was one of the first 3D platforms ever, if not the first, it was a great game and it has aged very well. The graphics were cute and nice for the time. The music, it's actually one of my favourite video game soundtracks of all time, so I had to mention that. The controls work really well, except for some things, but it mostly controls well. And overall the game is really fun. Yes, there are a few cryptic stars, and yes, the game's not perfect and the camera is awful, but the game is still enjoyable. No, nevertheless. I mean, surely Luigi wasn't in the game either, but the console had a hardware limitation, so what did you expect? And the game was a huge success. Critics agreed on the game being good, they loved it, and the game sold 11 million copies, making it the best-selling game on the N64. And all I can say is, considering that the game sold better than Gran Turismo on the PS1, considering that the PS1 sold at least 3 times more units as the N64, plus, that is an accomplishment. And there was going to be a sequel, which was going to have Luigi in it, and it was cancelled. And it was going to be for the N64 DD, which might be a reason why. I mean, considering the success of the N64 DD, no wonder it was cancelled, and there was a lack of development progress, so yeah. And the game was really going to have 32 levels, but it only had 15 because, well, hardware limitations. And yeah, now would I call it my favourite 3D platformer ever, my favourite Mario game ever, and even my favourite game ever? Nah. But Super Mario 64 has aged very well, and it's still very fun to play today. I'll give it an A. Not an A+ because of the camera, and some people might find it kind of annoying that some of the stars are cryptic and stuff like that. And they might find the game hard, but the game has still aged well, and I definitely recommend you buy on your N64 or download on the Wii if it's not so down already. So, that was my review on Super Mario 64. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And put review requests in the comments. But anyway, this is Big Bang Bot signing out. Now, I wonder what game I will be reviewing next. No, seriously. I wonder what game I'll be reviewing next. I mean, I may be getting a game out and I'm not even looking at what it is. I really want to know what this game is. So, what will I be reviewing next? Oh, babe!
Thank you so much for playing my game.
And thank you so much for watching my review.